What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review, and today we're talking about a banner that I have to get my hands on. A banner that I've been waiting for a while. That's right, we're talking about another Final Fantasy X banner with one of the best breakers in the game and a really high damage dealing unit in Jecht and Auron. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so first up on the banner, we have 3-star base going up to 5-star Brother. Support unit, looking at the TMR, it is an accessory, Brother's Goggles, attack 20, defense 20, water resist 30%, and blind nullification. Stats aren't that great, blind nullification not the best, water resist could come in handy, so possibly maybe try to get a hold of one of these, but I'm definitely not really worth it that much to me. Let's look down and see if there's anything crazy this guy gets, and it looks like no. Increase LB, oh! So he has at least 100% LB fill rate up for 3 turns to all allies. That could become useful. 70% water resist. We have a imperil of 40%. But other than that, nothing really too crazy. Let's check out this limit burst. Increase attack, 100% to all allies. Limit burst fill rate, 200%. So, hey, he's like a little LB generator, I guess. So overall, nothing too crazy here going on with Brother. But that LB... maybe that LB up will be useful when it comes time for 3 to 4-star base unit dungeons. Next up on the banner, we have Belgemine. That is going to be a 4-star going up to 6-star unit. It's going to be a summoner. And let's take a look at the TMR. We have Cognizant of the Truth, increase magic 40%, increase Evo Mag 10%. This TMR is actually pretty good. I mean, you're getting a huge magic boost, and you're getting Evo Mag put up by 10%. It's going to be good on summoners, obviously, and even magic 40%. A lot of you guys out there may be able to have some of your mages take advantage of that. So I really like that TMR. Not too shabby, not too bad. Moving on down through the abilities, we do have some chaining that can happen with Divine Runation. We have some imperiling, ice, water, and fire resist goes down by 50%. Not the highest multipliers in the world, but can chain with Divine Runation, which can help you out there. We do have some Valfor's power, increase Evo gauge 1 to 2, doing some magic damage there. Bahamut's power, magic damage, ignore defense 50% to all enemies. Instant KO, maybe for the arena. Anima's power, I love all these, it's everything. Valfor's, Ifrit's, Ixion's, Shiva, Bahamut, Yojimbo. Yo, dude, give me Yojimbo in this game. FFBE, Anima, Magus Sisters. Looks like it's just doing a lot of damage. Decrease light and dark resist 40%. Lots of imperils it looks like it has on this unit. And then we have 200 years of study, increase magic 120% for 2 turns, increase modifiers by 1 on everything we just talked about, and then increase evocation gauge 2 to 3 when you use this. She also has dual summon, which means she could cast all of these abilities twice in a turn. She can Divine Runation dual cast. This unit seems pretty cool. Again, not for the 7-star meta, not for the big trials, but I am looking at a lot of these units now because the 3 and 4-star base dungeons will eventually come. And this unit seems pretty nifty, so I'm really liking that. Looking on down here, enables any use of the Espers that are in the party. That's normal. We have some Evo Mag, which is great. And then let's look at this. Let's look at this LB. Not the highest modifier in the world, but we do have fill, increase, evocation gauge up. So overall, a nifty little fun unit. Nothing too powerful, nothing too crazy, but very fun, very flavorful with all... Oh, God, give me Yojimbo. Come on, FFBE. But yeah, so, you know, if I get a hold of one of these, I want to keep it, just in case maybe you want to use it in those, again, 3 or 4-star base dungeons that'll be coming out. I like you. I like Belgemine. Belgemine? Alright, now to the big boy stuff. We got Daddy Jecht coming out, guys. 5-star base going up to 7-star. Jecht is one of my favorite characters in all of Final Fantasy. Obviously, Final Fantasy X, I love all the characters. They're awesome. They're amazing. I just can't get over it. I'm sorry. It's just how it's going to be. I'm going to have my, my blinders on for the game because I love it so much. He's going to be a physical attacker, chainer, going to be doing some damage that way. If we look at his TMR, they named it really weird. Awkward Fatherly Love. Nice. Nice, Gumi. Increase HP and MP by 20%, and then also increase attack 50% when equipped with a great sword. As far as the 50% with a great sword, it gives you a little bit extra stats with HP and MP, but I think maybe we put this on maybe somebody like Demon Rain, Elfrida. You can put a great sword in her hand, especially when those enhancements just came out. She became a little stronger, I mean. So this may be a tank, counter tank, TMR you can throw on somebody, all right? So I like that. It could be used for that, a little bit more useful for your attackers, though. You probably have other things that are going to be more useful for you there. Let's look at his STMR and iconic sword, which is going to be his sword that he uses. A lot of people are like, is that the actual name of the sword? And apparently it is, yeah. It's been confirmed. So at least that's what I read on the internet. And maybe you have to take everything, even I say, with a great assault. Attack 176, great sword, has an ability that increases LB fill rate by 100%. Possibly be throwing this into a dual wield build. When true dual wield build, when the true dual wield build comes out, the meta, to have that 100% in this hand, and then the other hand, whatever you put in there, possibly have a, you know, an element in that hand. So this is going to be non-elemental. It'll give you that 100% fill rate passive, and then you can have the element in the other hand. I'm not chasing after it. Honestly, I'm not even chasing after a 7-star Jecht. Not that he's not powerful. He is on par with our chainers that we have now. We'll discuss that in a minute. But I don't really need that STMR. And I'm going to be using Sora for a long time to come as my damage dealer, even though Jecht Sprite looks so damn good. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. Scrolling on down, let's look at what he has. He has Jecht Shot, which is going to be water physical damage, ignore defense 50%, adds water element to physical attacks. So he could put his own sword on, true double hand build, and then use Jecht Shot and throw that onto his attack, similar to what Tidus had when he was in the meta. When he would use fixed dice. We can't be using fixed dice with Jecht, though. Physical damage 1.8 times on one enemy, inflict petrify, recover 70 MP to caster. So if we use Jecht Beam, we can get MP back. 70 is actually a lot. That's pretty neat. Next up, we have an ability that just does a whole bunch of physical damage and inflicts disease. He gets double quick strike, excuse me. Use Jecht's offensive skills twice in a turn except for Otherworld at 6 stars. So his 6-star? Yep, he's got his chaining abilities at 6 stars. So Jecht's 6 stars is actually looking pretty nice. Physical damage 1.8 times with ignore defense 50% to all enemies. Increase LB gauge 6, so he has a way to, he can even throw that in dual casting. It is a finisher move, but get his LB up if he needs. Jecht Shot Mark III. Physical damage 4 times to one enemy. Decrease defense 60% for 5 turns to one enemy. So he does have a defensive break, allowing him to bring him on your team as a damage dealer and breaking that defense if you're going physical attacks. And maybe not need to bring a breaker if, you know, that's all you're looking to break and you're not looking to break that attack or magic. Looking on down at Jecht Rush, it's going to be similar to a Hio Divine Runation or a Sora Divine Runation chaining family. And it also got, oh, this is the ability that got buffed. It is going to decrease water resist by 75%, which is a lot. Jecht's going to do a lot of damage right now, okay? Jecht's going to do a lot of damage. He'll eventually fall off a bit, again, when all these other new damage dealers come out. But by no means is Jecht a bad damage dealer. Going to be a top tier one right now. But then Axar is going to come and put him to shame, like he does everybody. But then Jecht is still going to be good for the people that maybe don't get Axar, okay? So it's going to do the whole backload chaining where it's chain, big hit at the end. And it's also going to water imperil, so that's going to be great here. That's going to be awesome. And he can add the water element to his attacks, allowing him to take maybe a two-handed sword like Kingdom Hearts Cloud's STMR or Cloud's STMR. Next up, he has Hot Steel. It's going to be physical damage 1.2 times, physical damage 4 times to one enemy. So this is a quick hit ability, just like the one we talked about with the backloaded finisher at the end of the chain. It's amazing. Honestly, this is everything I wish Tidus could have been. Tidus, why didn't you live up to what your dad could have been? Damn! Dude, he's good. The only problem with quick hit is getting the second cast of quick hit to chain with the first cast. So, like, obviously you have 2 units, quick hits chaining, and then it normally misses, and then it starts chaining again, so you don't full chain it. Now you can use macros, you can use robots, you can use alien technology to have that happen for you, but as long as you're using your fingers, you're not using outside sources, quick hit's going to be hard to chain. So I'm going to go with Jecht Rush probably in most situations there. We have Quick Block. We do some damage. We mitigate some damage for myself. Enables triple quick strike for 2 turns on a 6-star unit. He can triple cast on a 6-star unit. Jecht, yo, man, after own my own heart. All right, guys, if you're getting up with a 6-star Jecht and you want to try him out, he's actually going to be able to dish out the damage quite a bit. Holy shit. All right, so there you go. Those are his 6-star abilities. Moving on to his 7-star ones, we have Fake Out. Available turn 1, 4-turn cooldown to cast. It counts a turn to cast. Remove attack, defense, magic, and spirit from himself. Increase modifiers by 2 to Hot Steel and Jecht Shot Mark II. So that's going to be this ability. So if you use this ability, Hot Steel is going to do a lot more damage than Jecht Rush, excuse me, if you can pull it off. And then it also adds 2 times modifier to Jecht Shot Mark III, which is going to be his decrease in the defense. And then it's kind of like finishing move. It'll be a 6 times multiplier there. Also enables for 3 turns triple strike. Nice. We're gonna be able to triple strike. Man, this is so good. Oh, geez, dude. Again, they're trying to push you to use this ability, I guess, turn 1 and then chain with Hot Steel. But I'm telling you guys, Quick Hit is tough. For me, I've never really used outside help when chaining, so I'm going to just be going using that Divine Ruination chaining. Maybe try Quick Hit out and see if I can pull it off. But again, I've done so much finger training with Tidus that sometimes the game literally just won't let it happen sometimes. I'll click it correctly, I know I have, and it just doesn't go through a chain. Next up, we have Otherworld, which cannot be cast twice, as it says here, except for Otherworld. Available turn 8. With a 7-turn cooldown counting the turn you cast it. It's going to be a whopping 18 times multiplier to all enemies. That's going to be a huge finishing move. It's huge! If you make it to this point, just cast Otherworld and just crush some shit. That's pretty cool. Looking at his... Ooh, he's got Tackle Slip. So again, he's just... Again, he is Tidus' dad, but Jesus, man, just release CG Tidus for me. Increase physical evasion 30%, increase MP 20%. I might have to get down. If I get too Jecht, I might have to mess around with him. He seems so good. Increase physical evasion 30%, MP 20%, attack 30, increase LB gauge 1 per turn. They've been adding this to a lot of units coming out. Which is incredible, obviously. Building up that LB is great. You want to put a great sword in his hands. He has great sword mastery here. He has increased LB fill rate. I can't wait to see this LB. All right, what does he resist to? Blind, Sleep, and Paralyze. So we have 2 of the major ones. We just need to add Petrify and Confusion to that. Remember, when it comes time to make your unit a friend unit, your Jecht unit a friend unit, make sure you have status resist on there so people don't have to worry about getting confused and your Jecht killing off their Fina. You don't want to have to deal with that. Chance to counter attacks with Jecht block. If we look down at what Jecht block is, woo! It puts up his attack by 150% and decreases their defense by 70%. So hey, if you end up getting smacked with Jecht 30% of the time, he's going to do that, which is great. Ace of the Xanarkan Abes. My man! Xanarkan Abes, dudes. Increase MP 20%, increase water resist 50%, recover MP 5%. A lot of MP going up. How much was his moves? Oh, gosh. His chaining moves are only 45 to cast. Wow, dude. Oh, my God. And it's got this water resist 75. Okay. Jecht's really good, guys. Increase physical damage against beasts. And he's got killer abilities! Increase equipment attack 50%, and he's got true double hand right there, 50%. And then he's also got true dual wield, 30%. You're going with the true double hand with Jecht, man. He can only fit one sword and those big biceps. Increase TMR, sorry. It requires TMR to be equipped, so we're going to have to put in that awkward fatherly love thing on him. Hey, that's another 50% attack with a great sword with some HP and other stats added on. Increase Esper bonus by 10%, which is great. Oh, and then we also get 50% more. So right now, so far, he has 100% true double hand innately or 60% true dual wield. Fuck that, we're going true double hand. Increased defense 20%. Old man silhouette, okay? HP 20%. Increased attack 40% when equipped with a greatsword. So he's going to have 140% when he has a greatsword equipped attack percent. Because of all of his passives and his TMR, because you have to have his TMR to have these TMR bonuses be active. So, damn. Increase modifiers to Hot Steel's going up again. Jeez. Jecht Beam, Jecht Bomber, Jecht Shot Mark II, Triumphant Grasp are going up by 1.5 times. Jecht Rush is on there, correct? So, okay. It's not... Nah! Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. It goes up by a little bit. It doesn't go by as much. Again, they are wanting to push you to Hot Steel, but for some reason, they made Quick Hit impossible to chain with your fingers. You gotta use robots and ancient technologies. Anyway, and then you got Otherworld and Jecht Rush going up. Get this man to 120. He's going to be dishing out the damage that you always dreamed of. And then we have ways to activate Triple Quick Strike, which is going to let you use those abilities 3 times in a turn. It sucks that you can't use Otherworld, because then maybe you could have chained and then finished with Otherworld on his own, and my God, the damage would have been bonkers. Activated by Quick Block, Fake Out, and then apparently his LB is going to activate it, so let's look into his LB. Physical damage 16 times to all enemies. Enable skill for 4 turns to caster Triple Strike. So he's going to be able to be dealing out that Triple Strike. And I was against Triple Strike because it just cost so much MP. It was hard to pull off. This guy only costs 45 MP on each of his moves. It's going to be tough, but it's definitely doable. It's not up there with the high-ass other abilities. You know, it's not like 76 or 120 you got to cast 3 times. It's only 45, which is the normal Divine Ruination old Orlando MP cost. So overall, Jecht is a freaking beast of a damage dealing unit. We got to be careful, obviously. Axtar's coming out, and then the meta shifts up. Jecht falls a little bit behind. But Jecht's still going to be able to do damage for you, and with this global enhancement to that 75% water imperil, his damage only goes up even more. He's got me interested in him very much so. Alright guys, if you thought I was excited about Jecht, I am that much more excited about Auron, because Auron is going to be on my team for probably forever. It's going to be a long... I still don't see a unit that's going to take his spot on my team. Again, there is some Final Fantasy X bias there, but also the unit is just that incredible. 5-star base going up to 7-star Auron is going to be a debuffer, attacker, buffer, support unit, breaker, out of this world unit, okay? Moving on down, TMR is going to be Legendary Guardian. Increased resist to Confuse, Disease, and Petrify. So 2 of the big ones we need to get rid of. And increased attack 60% when equipped with a katana. Holy heck, you're getting a huge katana attack buff on top of the fact that you're getting rid of Confuse and Petrify. Just got to get rid of the whole Paralyze, right? And then we have to get rid of Sleep, and we'll be good to go. Those are the 4. I mean, you can even just leave Sleep off. Half the time things don't get rid of Sleep. So extremely strong TMR, especially for the meta to come with Axtar, Katana Wielder, Sephiroth, Katana Wielder, and things like that. We have the STMR as Masamune. I just love everything the way it looks. Even the item in the game, strictly because Final Fantasy X fanboy. You guys know this. Attack 184, MP 30%. Nothing too crazy. Except for the huge attack on the katana. Doesn't have an element on it, is what I mean by nothing too crazy. No passives. But that attack is extremely high. Not something I'd chase. Again, it's STMRs. The attack is really high, but I'm not telling you to go out there and spin and spin and spin until you get 4 Auron. That's just not what I'm going to tell you to do. It's just not worth it. Scooting on down, we're going to find out what exactly Auron can do, all right? So, looking over his abilities, we have an attack and magic 60% break. We have power break and magic break. 60% is pretty high, guys. Remember, 74% is what most big breakers do on their LB, along with, we even have a 79% break, I do believe, on CG Lid now. I think that's the correct number. If we go down, we have Magic Phoenix and Crouching Dragon, which is going to be attack and magic 45% to all enemies, AoE. These are going to be single target up here. And then we have Crouching Dragon, defense and spirit 45%. 45% pretty low. I have to admit that. But if we scroll down, we have armor and mental break, which are going to be spirit and defensive breaks by 60%. So Auron already at 5-star has attack, magic, defense, and spirit breaks in so many different ways that you can cast them, and you can single cast them at 60%, which is a pretty hot break there, especially for a six-star unit, if you only have one of them. We have Banishing Blade, which is going to decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 50% for 2 turns to 1 enemy. So it's not AoE, but you can use this and go to 50% instead of the 45% we were talking about above in full break. This guy likes to break, as you can see. We have Double Break, which is an ability he gets at 5-star, where you can use all those 60% breaks twice in a turn. Are you seeing the goodness? Because it keeps getting better. So at 6-star, you have a really great breaker here. 60% breaks down the board. We haven't even looked at his other 6-star abilities, but incredible, right? I mean, that's really good if you only get 1 Auron. Moving on down, we do have Gnawing Flame and Hellstorm. These are going to do fire or wind, respectively, damage. And it's going to do fire 50% in peril, wind 50% in peril. And it's going to chain with Absolute Mirror of Equity, or AT chaining frames, which a lot of units have out there. Sora, Axar is going to have it. We'll just go ahead and click on this, and we'll take a look-ski here. We have Draco Laswell, Machina, Power Glacial Laswell, A2, Aurora Fravia, Sora, Sephiroth, Reagan, and now Auron. So not only can he break a bunch, he also has the ability to chain, to help you chain, and do a little bit of damage. He is not lacking on the damage stats. Now, he's not going to be super powerful like mega physical attackers. He's not going to do that much damage, but he can dish out the damage very well. Next up at his 6-star, he has a Shooting Star ability. This is going to be like a finishing ability. It hits once. So, as your breaker, has a little on-demand finishing ability he can use here, doing a pretty nice amount of damage. Nothing too crazy. Next up, we have Bushido Dual Arts. Using Banishing Blade, Crouching Dragon, Dragon Fang, Gnawing Flame, God Killer, Hellstorm, Majestic Phoenix, Shooting Star twice in a turn. So, yeah, he can pretty much dual cast whatever he wants to. His kit is there for you guys to dual cast at 6-star. Very, very strong 6-star here for you guys to be using. Breaker support unit, okay? Very good. That's a 6-star. Now let's see what he gets at 7-star, making him one of the best breakers, in my opinion, the best breaker in the game. 7-star, Entrust the Future. Available turn 1. Sadly, a 6-turn cooldown if you count the turn that it is used. So 6 turns is a lot of turns. Decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit 70% for 3 turns to all enemies. We are used to this being on a cooldown ability for most of our top tier breakers, correct? But what we're not used to is what comes up next. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit 140% for 3 turns to all allies. That's right. In one ability, he literally tears down the enemy and buffs up your entire team. He builds you up while taking down the enemy. Now, the only downside of this, again, is the 6-turn cooldown. When this only lasts for 3 turns. But, again, we've seen his other breaks to help with that, and we'll look into his other abilities. This is actually bonkers. He takes the place of a damage-dealing chaining unit, a breaker, and now a buffer. He could do all of that in one unit. Makes it powerful, man. It makes it powerful. Next up, Take the Initiative. Available in turn 4, 4-turn cooldown, 3 turns if you count the turn it's used. I keep saying that just so people don't get confused. Physical damage 10 times to all enemies. Enable skills for 2 turns. Bushido Triple Arts. He has the ability to unlock triple cast on his abilities. Enable skill for 2 turns with God Killer, which we didn't know what that was from the dual arts up here. So we're going to go down and look at God Killer right now. Let's see, God Killer. Physical damage 2.5 times. We're going to do ignore defense 50%. And then decrease attack, defense, magic, and spirit 70% for 2 turns. Okay, this could be triple cast, or it could be put into a triple cast. You know what I mean? You could cast that to break, and then cast his 2 damage dealing skills. And you unlock that by using Take the Initiative. That also gives you triple cast and does a big finishing move. So on turn 4, so let's break it down. You cast Entrust the Future on turn 1. Then for the next couple turns, you're dealing some damage, you're doing some finishing moves, you're helping chaining. By the time turn 4 comes around, the breaks are gone, right? A little bit rough. You're going to have a turn where the brakes aren't on. So if you need to, maybe on the turn right before you can cast this, perhaps go ahead and cast these decrease mag, decrease attack, whatever you need, dual cast that, okay? Then it unlocks his triple arts ability, along with God Killer, which is going to allow you to reapply that 70% for 2 turns. And then after that, your Entrust the Future will be back up to put the break on as well. So there is a little bit of a downtime. It looks like there's a 1-turn downtime. I haven't got him in my hands. I haven't been messing with him. But as long as you go ahead and cast your breaks on the off turn right before you have to cast Take the Initiative, you're going to have your big breaks up all the time, along with doing damage and buffing up your team, as you can see. There will be a few turns where your team's not buffed with this ability. Moving on down, let's look at his passives. He has a counter, which is whatever. Increase resist to poison 100%, auto heal, and then recover MP. Great. All great passives to have. Increase attack, defense, and MP by 30%. Mars Crest. Increase HP 30%. Increase Earth Resist 30%. One-Eyed Swordsman. Increase resist to blind. So now he's got blind added to all the resist that he has. Thanks to his TMR as well. Increase attack 50% with a katana. So we're wanting to put a katana on him is what it looks like. Increase equipment attack 100% when single wielding any weapon. So now he has true double hand in his kit, 100% of it so far. Increase LB fill rate 100%, which is going to be important because we all know with supports and breakers, those LBs can be tasty. TMR equipped. Increase equipment attack 50% when single wielding. Increase attack and defense 150% for 3 turns if he drops below 30%. Auto-cast Bushido Triple Arts for the start of battle, and then it upgrades the LB. So we're definitely going to want to be putting on that TMR that he has for all these great different things, the Legendary Guardian. It's still really good for him anyway, because he's going to want to have a katana in his hand. It gives him status elements. This TMR is actually bonkers. Obviously, you're going to put it on. Enables you to triple cast on the first turn, his Bushido Dual Arts, if you want to. I think you're just going to use Entrust the Future, unless that's on there, which I don't see it. So I think Entrust the Future is still the turn to use it on turn 1, but hey, whatever, it's available, and it upgrades his LB. We'll look at it in a second. Titus' supporter, my man. Increased defense and HP 30%, recover MP 5%. Look, he's already got 10% MP recovery, which is going to help him out tremendously. Increased spirit 20%, and if you get to the end here, we have increased attack 40%. He's putting up God Killer and Shooting Star modifiers, along with Banishing Blade, Dragon Fang, Gnawing Flame, and Hellstorm. So lots of damage to be done here, lots of breaking, lots of support. Let's move on down to the Tornado, which is going to be his LB. It costs 30 LB, which is about average, I'd say right now. Hits 22 times. So, hey, there's that. Physical damage 9 times, ignore defense 50%, which is an 18 times multiplier, which is pretty high. Decrease fire and wind resist by 79%. So he's going to imperil too. So now he's going to help you with imperiling by 79%. It's not 100. It's not over 100. But 79% ain't nothing to bat an eyelash out. And as long as you have his TMR equipped, you're going to get the decreased attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 74% for 3 turns to all allies. And the cool thing is, his TMR is a materia as opposed to a weapon, so you can end up putting maybe an elemental weapon in his hand if you want to. You really don't have to, though, because his abilities up here do wind or fire damage. So you can just put a two-handed weapon in his hand and go to town. Overall, you see why Auron's good. It looks like Auron and Jecht together are both very solid 6 stars, and then they get even more powerful at 7-star. Let's talk about Auron. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your account. The biggest breakers in the game right now are CG Lid. We have Lauren. We have Kryla. We have 2B, and now we have Auron. How do I rank those? Honestly, I'm going to put CG Lid at the bottom. She will have enhancements. They will get better, but I don't think she's quite there yet to be beating out units like Kryla, which is next on my list. So it's like CG Lid, and it's like they're very close. And it's like Kryla, and then after that, very close. It's like Lauren, and then after that, 2B. I think 2B is that much better than the other breakers. And then after that, I have Auron like maybe right here. 2B does so much damage, and does the breaks that you want. And Auron also does the damage and chaining, and then also can buff. And his breaking skills are just incredible. He does all kinds of stuff you want in one unit. And eventually the trials, you're going to have to be trying to fit everything you can into your team, which is just incredible. So if you already have 2B, if you already have Lauren, if you already have Kryla, you already have CG Lid, you don't need Auron. Their breaks are going to be enough to help you beat most fights. You don't need to go after this guy. If you love Final Fantasy X, if you're looking for that, if you're min-maxing, you're looking for that upgrade, and you want a unit that's going to be on your team for a long time, I'm talking future-proof, this guy is the man, then go ahead and pull for him. It's going to be good. Alright guys, so that's the end of the banner review. So should you be pulling on the Final Fantasy X banner? One, it's a King Mog, so you guys are going to probably put a little bit of tickets in there, try to get up something. You have Jecht, who's going to be a stellar damage dealer for you guys out there that do not have one. If you already have some of the top damage dealers, you don't need Jecht. Okay, he's not needed. You're obviously going to be going for Axstar. There's obvious power creep in this game that's about to happen and jump up, so you kind of can avoid that if you would like. As far as Auron is concerned, but Jecht is very powerful. Don't let me saying that put a negative shine on him. It's just that there are so many physical damage dealers. He's very skippable, right? There's nothing too crazy about him. He looks fun as hell, and obviously I have my Final Fantasy X roots in there, but skippable, right? Like, you guys know that. I've been telling you that for a while. But Auron is a support unit, and support units that are very, very long-lasting, very worth pulling for. However, again, if you have any of those breakers I've discussed, you don't really need to go for him. He is not a time-limited unit. You can use UOC on him if you want to, but Auron will be on your team from now until all the way. I just watched one of Umber Ray's. I don't know if you guys know that YouTuber. He specializes in JP stuff on the side there. He had Auron on his team because he is that good. He is a mainstay in teams until, I guess, another breaking meta comes around where that goes up. He just does so much. I think he's definitely worth it. But you don't have to do it, you know what I mean, if you have those other breakers. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you're pulling for Jecht Daddy or Auron, and then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you in the next video.